All right. I wanted to go over here a Sadia Khan video. I tried to do this a few minutes ago, but apparently the audio of the screen share wasn't working very well. But my little brother sent me this clip, and a lot of it was pretty outrageous. And there's lots of invalidation, gaslighting, DARVO, deny, accuse, reverse victim, and offender. And she makes a lot of generalizations and straw man arguments. I don't really know why. She might just be seeking attention and trying to bait and provoke people and be antagonistic to get attention because she is an influencer after all. Eyeballs on her and she's doing her job. But I wanted to correct some of the nonsense that I saw her say here. And before I even begin, if she wants to come address what she said on my platform here, I'd be more than happy to have her on. I could point out to her why I disagree so thoroughly with what I'm about to play you here in a minute. But I do think what she says is pretty harmful because there's so many generalizations and she flips the script and validates. And I'll go over what I think about it, but I'll let you see for yourself. All right, so here it is.
Just been in a bad relationship. The worst piece of advice that women are getting is the narcissistic movement, the movement about how every person you've disagreed with ever in your life is a narcissist, whether that's your mom, your dad, or your ex-partner.
So first of all, that is a massive generalization here too. Just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean they're a narcissist. There may be a couple people who exaggerate and say that, but for the most part, we all know that's not true. So it's a generalization and a straw man.
Everybody's a narcissist, and they use these buzzwords like gaslighting, breadcrumbing, all of this stuff. 9 times out of 10, when somebody's come to me and said so-and-so is a narcissist, they are a narcissist.
9 times out of 10, when someone comes to her and says their partner is a narcissist, it actually means they are the narcissist. That is pretty outrageous. To me, that's flipping the script, reversing victim and offender, and invalidating others. Are there times when a narcissist plays the victim and will say something like that? Yes, there are times, but it's certainly not 9 times out of 10. It might be 2 times out of 10, but to say 9 times out of 10, it's just unnecessary. And it's so invalidating to the people that know correctly what they have been dealing with. And then Sadia Khan here is going to come over the top and say, nope, if you say that, it means you're a narcissist. Pretty outrageous and ridiculous.
Themselves. They have a narcissistic desire to be a victim in every situation. They have a narcissistic desire to avoid any accountability.
So yes, narcissists do like to play the victim, and narcissists do like to avoid accountability. As I always say, everything a narcissist does will be for power, control, image, narcissistic supply, and avoiding accountability. But as we see with some of these creators here, they hit those other points. They want attention. They want things for their image and narcissistic supply. So some people will say anything to get those things. Doesn't matter how many people they have to screw over, invalidate, and gaslight to get there. That's all they care about, are the eyeballs on them.
And they have a narcissistic desire for excessive sympathy from the people around them. And so the people who claim that they're victims of narcissists are usually the narcissists themselves.
Usually, Sadia Khan, usually, there are some narcissists who call their other partner narcissist. Yes, that does happen sometimes. But to say they are always wrong, all of the people who identify what they've been dealing with are always wrong 9 times out of 10, outrageous.
They're just in reverse. They like to be a victim. Real people who've been abused by narcissists will.
So real people, the people that she approves of, this is what she thinks the victim of narcissistic abuse will say.
Come to me and say, how do I get better? Because my husband says I'm too fat. They're actually trying to please the narcissist. They're so brainwashed by the narcissist that they think they have done nothing right in this relationship. They're awful and they need to improve. But
now, there is a point in the trauma bond where, yeah, people who don't know what they're dealing with, that is exactly how a narcissist makes them feel. They think they're doing everything wrong. Everything they do, they think it's their fault. They're always guilty of something because the narcissist is what? Flipping the script and always making them think everything is their fault. And the person who doesn't recognize what they're dealing with yet, they're continuing to jump through the narcissist hoops. And it's similar, honestly, to how she's acting in this video, gaslighting, invalidating, and trying to get the other people to jump through her hoops. She's acting like she's the authority. She's the know-it-all on the subject, and you better believe her and do as she says, because if you don't, it means you're the narcissist. If you think your partner's a narcissist, 9 times out of 10, that means you are. Outrageous.
But if you're in the end where you're posting memes about a narcissist, you haven't been through narcissistic abuse. You've just been in a bad relationship.
So if you've posted memes about narcissism, that means you were not in a relationship with a narcissist. It just means you were in a bad relationship, apparently. And it's one of my pet peeves when people try to tell others what their experience was when you really have no idea. I mean, every situation needs to be taken individually. And for her to outright say that like that, oh, if you're posting memes about it, that means you mustn't have been through it. It's just a bad relationship. I mean, come on. There are cases where people who post narcissistic memes, they haven't been through it and they're exaggerating, but that is certainly not a majority, like the way she's saying here. So she's saying, yep, if you did that, it definitely means you were not part of a trauma bond. And how can you know that? How can she even say that or know that, not knowing the situation? To me, that whole clip was just really careless. She's trying to get attention. She's trying to get eyeballs on her. She's baiting, provoking, and trying to be antagonistic. And maybe I just fell right into the trap, but I thought it was necessary to call out some of that nonsense because that's what it was. It was really just generalization, straw manning. Straw manning's a debate bro term, but it means when they put together a straw man of an argument. It's a weak replica of the other person's argument that they can then tear down. And that's what she was doing there. She built a weak replica and then tore it down. But she's not taking into account every situation's different. And yeah, there are people who recognize what they're dealing with and they accurately recognize that their partner was a narcissist. Accurately recognizing that does not mean you were a narcissist and does not mean 9 times out of 10 you were the narcissist. So that whole clip, tons of invalidating, tons of gaslighting, tons of DARVO, deny, accuse, reverse victim and offender, invalidation. I don't really see what the point of it was. I don't know why she dislikes the community so much. But we do know, class, that the people who usually dislike the narcissistic content the most are usually what kind of people? I mean, I'm no psychologist, and I'm not going to diagnose anyone, but I do occasionally see people out there that are content creators that are on the spectrum of narcissism. And I've made a video about that before. There may even be a couple in the space of narcissistic abuse too. And let's go over why that is. Sometimes people do want to play the victim. And sometimes people do want to get narcissistic supply from getting all of the attention from posting content and having people give them admiration and acknowledgement. Yeah. So I would say amongst YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagrammers, there probably is a higher percentage of narcissists creating that content than the general population. I don't think that's a stretch. Just like I would say there's a higher percentage of narcissists and psychopaths in politics, as CEOs of businesses, maybe even in law enforcement. It's just what I see. But with Sadia there, too many generalizations, and it's like she's trying to get under other people's skin and give them a hard time and bait and provoke them. I don't really see why it was necessary. But if she wants to come on the show here and defend her ideas, by all means, I would like to have her on. So if someone wants to show her this, by all means, show her. I'm not going to back down from this because this topic's pretty important to me. And again, there are cases where people are playing the victim because narcissists do play the victim. But to say that's the majority of the time is just careless and outrageous. And if she's going to claim to be some sort of psychologist, which I don't really think she even is. But to even claim that and then not be, and then talk like that, it's just careless to me. It's careless, harmful, invalidating, and gaslighting of other people's experiences. And to say, oh, if you posted a meme on narcissistic abuse, that means you were just in a bad relationship. I mean, come on. I don't know what she was trying to prove there, but there was so much misinformation in that clip. I felt the desire to call it out. And again, if someone wants to show her this, I'll be more than happy to talk to her. I have a feeling she won't. Or if she does, maybe she'll use some of the tactics that I talk about a lot too, and you'll be able to see them in action. But she honestly used some of the tactics I talk about in that clip. And that's why I titled this video as I did, The Queen of DARVO, Antagonism, and Gaslighting. Because that's what she did in that clip. Generalizations, straw men, gaslighting, antagonism, gaslighting. I don't really see why she did it. Just like I said, maybe for attention, but I don't think it was right that she did that. So I felt it was important to say something about it. But that's really all I had here. Hopefully the audio worked well for that, unlike the first time. I didn't realize it, but the first time the audio wasn't playing back. You could hear my voice, but you couldn't hear the voice of her as I was sharing the screen. But I'll also probably try to break this down onto Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok too. But thank you for watching, and tune in for my next interview next week. Oh, and like the video if you liked it, and share this video with others that you think might benefit or who were maybe a little upset if they saw that clip.